What's up guys, it's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build It video. Today we're going to be doing a low-level contest mayor's walkthrough for the city star. I have not yet looked at his choices, so it's as new to you as it is to me. Alright, before we begin, hit that like and subscribe button. You can join us on Facebook at SimCity Build It MissyAnne. You can also join us on Discord with the link down below in the description. And if you're wanting to join us on SimCity, we do have a couple of spots open. There's usually people that are kind of going in and out with taking time off from the game because they get bored or whatever. So as we get openings, if you're wanting to, be a member of the group, you will need to be an active player who is either a low-level player on the Missy's Building Guide or a high-level player with a decent city, both of which you need to play CoM competitively. That means in Mega trying to win first place. Okay? If you're a low-level player, we offer CoM training and we track your progress while you're on the Missy's Building Guide. All of that will be in the group rules video and the video in the mentoring link. Okay, so if you open up the mentoring document, there is a link there that says all group members must watch, and then the group rules. Watch those two videos, reach out to me, make sure you're the right fit. When you reach out to me, a lot of you guys have been messaging me on the SimCity Build It page, because we have a page and a group page. The page you can just click like on, and then you see whatever we post. But the group you actually need to apply into. Don't message me on the SimCity Build It page, message me on my private Facebook, the link is down below. Because otherwise I won't get your messages anywhere near as quickly than if you were to message me privately. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. He is a level 24 player. He is camping, obviously. He has no experience left on his bar. Task assessment, you go through, you label everything. He has no regionals, obviously, because he's level 24. So he's playing low-level CoM. Okay? The low-level CoM technique, for those of you who don't really know, you stack up all your upgrades and long factory productions before the streaks, starting streaks at no later than 9 tasks remaining so that you can complete them all. If you want to save tickets and your leaderboard is not that competitive, you should try to save tickets if at all possible. That being said, you will need to start the streaks a little bit sooner. Okay, so at like 24 tasks remaining. Alright, that being said, task assessment time. We go through, we label everything. If it's high premium, that means it can be worth more than 3,000 points. If it's premium, it can be worth up to 3,000. Non-premium cannot be worth up to 3,000. A main task is a task in your list worth 2,000 points or higher. A rotatable assignment is an assignment below 2,000 points. Then you have last resort rotatables, which are tasks like coins and repair and keys at the value of 1,200. All right, anything that is in the low-level CoM guide that should be marked no touch, you should mark that. So like a monster that's below 2,000 points, sugar that is below like this 1,700 to 1,800 threshold, chems at that same value, you mark those no touch if they're below that threshold. And let's go ahead and get into this. So the first one is a non-premium coin, which is a last resort rotatable, but because it's in the streaks, obviously he's going to have to do it. But that is a good thing, because now one of those tasks that is usually taking up a spot on your list, because it has a high algorithm, is now up in the streaks. So you don't have to worry about it. So he has one extra doorway this week. Then we have London, that is a main assignment premium. Upgrade war card, main premium limited. What that means is that once the war cards have been utilized, he will have to earn more or he won't be able to do that assignment. He has a limited time non-premium main monster, which means that as soon as he can get that assignment done, he needs to open up that value placement because of its value being at its highest point, which is 2,500. It has a really high algorithm attached to it, so he wants to get this assignment done as many times as it takes until it falls below the 2,000 points. Then he leaves it alone, doesn't touch it for the duration of the contest. The next one is a main planks premium. Non-premium last resort rotatable keys. Premium chemicals. We mark shop productions and factory productions as premium for low-level players. but that's a no touch at that value because of its high algorithm and downtime attached to it. We don't bother continually repeating this task. Then we have a premium no touch London upgrade, premium VU with decent algorithm, decent opportunity, non-premium war booster that has a high risk attached to it, low algorithm. High risk attached to this one is that if you are trying to get upgrades to roll in, you want to kind of rotate this, but if you don't have a lot of upgrades already in your list, you want to be very careful rotating this as it can yield a 3,000 point upgrade. It has a really high chance of doing that. Okay, the next one is a premium Paris building upgrade at rotatable value, and it's obviously a no touch, so we mark it no touch. Non-premium Epic. Now, this is technically rotatable, even though it is 800 points, because if we need this doorway, it may have to be rotated, okay? If you are before the streaks, like just before the streaks, you want to try to avoid rotating the Epic as he doesn't have regionals unlocked, so if he gets this assignment a couple of times and then he hits a downtime, it could make him fail the streak, or cause him to have to donate all of his inventory and wait, and it's super annoying. So if at all possible, try to avoid doing the epic task unless at main task value. Okay, so unless it's 2,000 points or higher, try to avoid it. Non-premium design challenge, no touch. Now, a lot of you guys, I've seen kind of questions here and there about the design challenge. You cannot do the design challenge if you're following the Missy's Building Guide and you are a low-level player that is camping. It requires experience. Now, I know you guys are like, well, it requires so little experience. That is true. But, one, that's not a solution to learning how to play, okay? Two, that all that's going to do is make it to where you've wasted experience that you can't utilize towards epics going into the future. At your level, you really shouldn't be wasting experience on a task that has such high algorithm anyways. Okay, so just avoid doing any upgrades that are not regular residentials. All right, so the first choice is going to be the war card upgrade because it's able to be done faster than the London. The idea is to go as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. So that would be doing the war card upgrade. Now he gets a upgrade for 1,000. Now he has, let me count how many upgrades first. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that'll be his 4th upgrade. That's not a good sign when you've already got 4 of your doorways blocked off. Now, the good sign is that they're all of low value, okay? But it's so early. I mean, he's only 1 assignment in, and he's already got 4 of his upgrades. So, unless he can work 1 or 2 doorways for the duration of the contest, he may end up in a shitty situation this week, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so, he got the 1,000 upgrades, so now the next obvious choice, what's the highest? Best opportunity is going to be that London for 3,000. Okay? Now he gets a 3,000 war card, premium, limited time, delivery. So this can only be done during war or on the monster. That means that you guys really should this does take priority. So if he had a different assignment sitting here, this was at the start of the week, he would do this one first because it takes priority. Okay? All right. Now he gets a non-premium repair. Now at this value, it's holding one of your good place values. For low-level players, because you have to stack up so many upgrades and factory productions over the course of your week, you really can't afford to not utilize your doorways. Now, it's obvious that the repair is going to be taking up a spot on the list. It's just how it works because it's got such high algorithm. But if it is going to take up a spot on our list, we want it to take up a spot at low value, not one of our 1600s. Because the game allows you to have a mix of values, you don't want to have all of these midway values and high valued upgrades taking up, because then you're only going to get low valued assignments. So you have to be very careful which assignments you leave to sit. Now at this value, we're not going to do the repair just yet. What is the next highest in the list with best opportunity and or takes priority? Like if you're doing your contest estimator's math, it looks like planks would be better than monsters, right? Because the monster is on premium, and it's, you know, got high algorithm, but it's at 2,500 points. Now, if the monster is here, we would want to get that done ASAP. It's going to be in the list no matter what anyways. We need to open up that 2,500 place value as soon as possible. If the monster is not here, and it is too expensive to call back with cash, then he would go and do the planks. Okay, so he does the monster. All right, cool. He gets a non-premium cargo. Now, the non-premium cargo has a low to medium algorithm, depending on the week, of course. Planks is higher. It's premium. It's good opportunity. Gonna go with planks. All right. Non-premium Paris. Main task. Cost cash, yes. Okay. That's the next obvious choice, right? All right. Now we get a main glass assignment. Now here's the thing. He probably prepped feed. This is also 2 rounds of glass, not 1. He's not going to be able to let this sit because this is probably his good doorway. I mean, look. He did planks. He got Paris. He did Paris. He got glass. All of which have been good value. He really can't afford to let this sit. He also can't really afford to just not do anything. So what he needs to do is he needs to clear out whatever feed he did prep and prep the second half of the glass, which means that I don't know how many factory slots he has if he bought the premium pass. I'm assuming he bought the premium pass. So whatever amount that he can prep and then have left over, he should, so that if he gets, let's say, you know, seeds or something in between, he can do it. So he should prep the second half of the glass and then move on to his next best option, which would be the cargo. Okay, so he does that. Now he gets the monster again at 2,500. So that would be the next obvious choice. Then he gets a 3,000 London. Now he gets a high premium Latin. So this one can come in for 3,600 points, meaning we would not want to cancel it at this value. This makes it his 5th upgrade that's come in. So we're looking at, we got the glass, we got the 1,600 repair, we have the launch VU, we've got the war booster. We really don't want to cancel the Latin. Okay, so this is going to be a tricky situation here. All the upgrades in his list are at low value. Okay, so normally when upgrades roll in, we would rotate the war booster in to see if we're going to get any more so that we can cancel it. In this case, we would want to do the opposite, okay? Because all of his upgrades aren't at cancellation values. We don't really want to cancel the Latin because it can just come back for more. So we can rotate in the repair for 1,600, or we can rotate in the VU for 1,000. Given that the repair is only going to come back, and he has so many upgrades in his list already, I would go with the VU if it was me. Because here's the thing with this. If he is going to get more upgrades, we would want to have to cancel the upcoming ones soon. We really need to open up a better doorway. He hasn't had that many great doorways so far. I mean, we know the monster's going to be coming back any minute. And we know that if we rotate the repair in, it's going to come back. So inevitably, when are we going to rotate the VU in if we're constantly dealing with those two high algorithm non-premiums? I would go ahead and break the cycle and do the VU and then get that repair done depending on what comes in. Now, I know why he went with the repair, because normally that is what you would do, but like I said, you guys, you really have to look at your storyline. Look at what's happening in your list and follow the entire thought process, like what I just explained, why we're doing what we're doing. Now, in a normal setting, if he did not have all these upgrades, or if they were at higher value, it would be different because we would be leaning more towards a cancellation. The hardest part for you guys, being low-level players, is going to be dealing with these damn upgrades. They're either going to be in your list with a high value and you're going to have to struggle with the cancellation, or they're going to be in your list with a low value and they're not going to be allowing for other things to come in. Now, in a perfect setting, what should happen is you should do an assignment, get 5 or 6 rotations out of it, and then it turns into an upgrade. And then so on. By the time you get through all your doorways, you're down to your streaks. You can do the streaks, pick up where you left off, and then that's like a perfect setting, right? But more often than not, what ends up happening is upgrades roll in so quickly, and then you're struggling with the cancellation. Like I said, nothing can be canceled here, not safely. It would just be foolish to cancel anything but the Latin, and it would be even stupider to cancel the Latin. So, given that he's got the glass, doesn't really want to take downtime for that. We know that that repair is going to come back, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to open up better opportunity here. That's the whole idea. Those two things sitting for one rotation is not going to make or break him. So he does that. He gets his 1,600 shovels. Now this is what I'm afraid of, okay? This is exactly what I was trying to avoid. If he continues rotating like this, he could just end up in a situation where he's rotating 1,600 point valued tasks repeatedly, and then he drops his average even further. Right there, he just lost 400 points on his average. My guess is he does the shovels, because like I said, normally that's what you would do. But if you look at the list as a whole, it's really not the right choice to do the repair. Now, given that if I was looking at this list, just plain looking at the list without knowing the history of the assignments, I would say shovels. But knowing this and knowing the storyline, I would say don't do the shovels, because of his current situation that I just explained. We know this repair is going to come right back, right? I mean, we got a 90% chance it's going to come right back within like 3 or 4 rotations. So why would I want to rotate that doorway out yet? I wouldn't, right? Okay, so he does that. He gets the 4 card upgrade, okay? That's obviously going to be the next choice. Then he gets his Paris. Now, these are his repeat tasks. Remember I was talking about this in my walkthrough week? Pay attention to your repeat tasks. They're usually within the first starting list or first, I want to say 10 assignments of the week. My guess is his repeat tasks are going to be the Paris, the London, and the war card upgrade. That's kind of what I'm noticing so far, which is going to cost him a pretty penny if that's the case. So now he gets a 1,400 on hammers. Again, my guess is he's probably going to rotate the hammers because they're 440 points higher than the VU, but he really does need to rotate that VU in. Yeah. And what happened? Exactly what I said was going to happen. He got 3 or 4 rotations, right? Now he's right back where he started. He's got a 1,600 repair, no other doorways he's utilized. Now what's he going to do? Is he going to do the repair again? Or is he going to say, screw it, I need to rotate in the VU. I've got 5 upgrades already in my list. And what he should have done is he should have done this, like I said, 4 tasks ago, so that if the VU did bring in an upgrade, and it was of high value, then we could rotate in the booster ASAP, see what is going to roll in before we hit 20 tasks in, and then cancel if we need to. Instead, he's kind of whittled away at his average, he's whittled away at tasks remaining, and now he's in the same exact situation, except for less assignments. Does it again. Like I said, I'm not surprised he's doing this. This is one of those situations where when people say, would you always do this? And I say, well, it depends. There's a situation where you would not do this. This is a perfect example of why you need to follow your storyline. Okay? Now he gets sugar for main task value. He's, let's see here, almost 20 assignments in. The sugar is higher than the glass and takes less time, but he should have prepped the second half of the glass already. That being said, now he rotates the VU, okay? Gets wood. Now, at this point, he needs to take downtime. He can't afford to keep going forward. Sure, he can do the wood and drop his average even further, but the bottom line is, it's not just about the fact that he can keep, going forward. It's about the fact that he has 2 long factory productions. He's 5 days and 4 hours remaining, so he's got more than enough time to start these assignments. And they're taking up main task values. Not only that, But look at the tasks remaining. If he proceeds on, if he does the wood and then proceeds on, he's going to be so far in that by the time he does get to the glass and the sugar that's got these high value points in his list, he's not going to be able to safely do them without them coming back in the streaks. You don't want to, go so fast that you just keep going when you need to take downtime. Right now, he really needs to take the downtime. Now, if he already prepped the glass, I would just go with the glass. I'm assuming he prepped the glass. If he didn't, then he would obviously go with the sugar because it's faster and for more points. He does wood. The biggest mistake of all. He should have never done that. Okay? He has way too... Think about it. Look at your list as a whole. Okay, so star, look at what you got going on. You're 17 assignments in. You've got 5 upgrades. 4 of which are at low value. 1 of which you can't cancel. Can't afford to. 3 of your tasks that are main tasks require high value, or they have high value and they require a lot of downtime. You have more than enough time here to take this time to proceed on. Doing the wood and having open, even if you can open up this doorway, and let's see what happens here. Okay, so now you're going to do the monster. So now you're another assignment closer to the streaks. See where I'm going with this? Then there's the repair, okay? High algorithms, you're stuck on these doorways, the monster and the repair. There's your VU. Seeds. Now you're going to do the seeds, or are you going to stop? And you're going to say, okay, I've got 20 assignments in. You're, 2 more, it's been 2 more hours since you should have just taken the downtime for the glass and the sugar. And you do seeds. Okay. More deliveries. VU. There's the repair for 1,200. Now, obviously, this doorway's done. Can't utilize it anymore. It's at last resort rotatable value. That doorway's toast. So now you're forced to take the downtime. But now you're 17 assignments in before you can start streaks. Actually, a little closer because you want to save tickets. See why this was bad? That was not a good thing to do. Not given your current list. Sugar has a really high algorithm attached to it. What are you doing? What? I have no idea what he's doing. I can't explain that for the life of me. At all. By any means. That would be the absolute last thing I think that you would be doing. Okay, there's his 1,500 monster. And there he does War Booster, and he gets his epic for 2,400, not surprised. Now he takes the downtime for glass 13 assignments before the streaks. Now, if he wants to save tickets, he's going to have to start the streaks at 24 tasks remaining. Way too close to streaks. See why this was stupid? There's his regular residential. Okay. There's his last 2 upgrades. So he's way too close to the streaks to do the sugar. Or the chems. Obviously, he's not going to do chems or no touch value. So basically, at this point, he's only securing long factory productions. So it's going to be keys. Then he gets his epic for 800. You better not touch that again. Because he should be on his hands and knees praising the Lord that he got that 800 epic. Okay, because he's already had to do the epic for 2,400 and 800. So if it keeps coming back, he has to start streaks. That's it. He's toast. 1,000 VU, dropping his average. 1,900 on cement. 1,000 on paint, dropping his average. There's the glass for 2,240. He got really lucky that came back. Now, at this point, he starts streaks. London. Keys. Chairs. Are you serious? Wow. Really? guys, alright, man, seriously. How many times do I have to say this? Do not start the assignment until your stuff is ready for pickup. Why are you... You failed this shit last week, dude. I mean, look, I know that your leaderboards are a little pathetic sometimes, but this shit needs to be broken. Okay? If you want to actually be successful, you can't be doing this. It's one thing to have a mistake here and there, but dude, it's 5 chairs. Just wait for them to be ready. Then hit start, pick them all up at once. That was an hour and 45 minutes for 5 chairs. And you fail the streak? Are you serious right now? Repair, keys, cargo, repair, view, keys, repair, 900 cream. Now, why do you think this is happening? Why do you think these streak assignments are so damn low? Yeah, all these damn high-valued upgrades and weird shit down below. But not just that, but when you block off your good doorways, this is kind of what happens. These are your repeat tasks, as you can see. 1,400 on saps, Tokyo, London, keys, repair, spatulas, planks, ladders, Tokyo, Paris, mistake. Pathetic mistake of all, okay? Again, I know that you guys may not have very hard competition, but you have to stop making these stupid mistakes. The sugar is higher than the glass. Oh, but wait! Why can't you do that? You probably already prepped the glass, right? Why didn't you prep the sugar? Even if you didn't, why do you only have 6 hours remaining? Trying to save tickets to the last and very end. When people are really hot on your score was a really stupid thing to do. He won by 90 points this week. Okay? I don't recommend getting it that close, especially when you're failing streaks and things like that. See, now this type of stuff, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, this is why you had to make these stupid mistakes. So all you did by trying to save these tickets and, you know, cut it so close is you ended up just getting less points towards your pass. If you would have just done things right. You used the same amount. You see where I'm going with this? But you ended up putting up less points. Repair, keys, repair. More delivery, keys, repair. And like I said, he won by 90 points in the last, 5 seconds. Too close of a call. Shouldn't have failed the streak. You guys have got to stop starting your assignments before your stuff is ready. That is the, number one thing you never do. I mean, it's kind of like why they let you do that shit, in the first place. So that you can pre-plan all of your stuff.